Guys, you have to pardon me. I was talking for more than 20 minutes, I think, and I didn't realize that no one was seeing me until my daughter came to tell me the essence of family. Honestly, I did not know. But I just have to carry on now just to make sure that we don't miss what I had planned. This is really so sad, and I feel really, really sad about this. But please do bear with me. I shall carry on with the lesson, even after I've spoken for quite some time now, really. Is it still showing? Because why is it showing something else on here? It's fine. Anyway, so I'll carry on with the lesson. It's 15 minutes. I'll carry on. Reverse percentage. I wouldn't go through this anymore. It's about the last lesson. And I think I should go through it, but I'll just quickly, briefly talk about some of them, if not all. So here, they want you to change. This is about last lesson, guys. I'm really sorry about what has happened. I was just talking on and on, not knowing it was not publicly shared. Please pardon me. So if you want to change this into a fraction, remember, you need a numerator and a denominator for a fraction. So it's one decimal place here. There's only one digit after the point. So you're going to have only 1 0 in your denominator and put your 1 there. They want it in the simplest form. So you divide, you need to look for a times table that has 5 and 10 in it. And that times table is 5. So you're going to divide the numerator by 5 and the denominator by 5. And you're going to get 1 over 2 to be the equivalent for 0.5. To change it into a percentage, your 5 over 10 has to become 50 over 100. Why? Because you multiply the denominator by 10 to get 100, and you multiply the numerator by 10 to get 50. So that will give you 50%. So that's how to go about it. Then this 1 over 5, you want to change this into 10 or 100, whichever works for you, to be able to change it into a decimal. So we're going to have this as 2 over 10, which basically then is 0.2. Remember, your full stop is here. You then divide it by moving your decimal point one place to the left because there's 1 0 there. To make it into a percentage, you have 2 over 10. You have to change that into 100, I mean the denominator, and the top will be 20, isn't it? Because you've multiplied the top and bottom by 10, and then you get 20%. For the next bit here, you have 22%, which is the same thing as 22 over 100 as a fraction. They want it in the simplest form. You divide it by 2 because you can have both of them, and you get 11 over 50. And this bit now becomes 0.22 because you have 22 over 100. You move your full stop twice to the left when you're dividing, and you're moving twice because you've got 2 zeros there. This bit here, you have 0.25, which is the same thing as 25 over 100. Why is it over 100? Because you've got 2 digits here, which is 2 decimal places. And so you have 2 zeros in your denominator, which is 25%. Now to change it into a fraction, you already had it as 25 over 100. Any number that ends in 5 or 0 can be divided by 5. So you divide both the numerator and denominator by 5 to get 5 over 20. There's still a number that ends in 5 and 0. So you still need to go on and divide by 5 and 5, and you get 1 over 4. If you're good with your times table, you could as well just divide straight by 25. And 20, if you divide 25 by 25, you get 1. And if you divide 100 by 25, you get 4. For this bit here, you got 3 over 10, which is your fraction. And so to a decimal, you're going to get 0.3, okay? And for the percentage, it's going to be 30%. The reason being you multiply the top and the denominator by 10 to be out of 100. This is going to be 45 over 100 as a fraction because it's got 2 decimal places. You're going to have it as 2 zeros. If you divide both by 5, you're going to get 9 over 20. And of course, the percentage is 45% because you already have it as out of 100. And this bit here is going to be 28 over 100, and you can keep halving it, but if you're good with your times table, you can do something else. But let's go on, let's half it, and we're going to get 14 over 50. I can still half this, and I'm going to get 7 over 25. All right, and then for the decimal, it's going to be 0.28 because you have 28 over 100 and you divide it through. 3 over 20 as a decimal, you know you could use the long division or just change your denominator here to a power of 10, like 100. So if you times that by 5 and you times that by 5, you're gonna get 15 over 100, which is the same thing as 0.15. And then the percentage becomes 15%. Like I said, guys, I will have to go through this really quickly. I was talking for more than so many minutes, not knowing that it was not publicly shared. And then the next bit here is what we really have for today, which is the reverse percentages. That's what we're talking about today. And for this percentage, we are going to be talking about percentage increase, decrease, and we'll tell you what multipliers are. When we want to use the multipliers, I'll tell you how to use it. But right now, let's calculate 83% of 9,000. That is percentage, just finding percentages. So if you want to find 83% of 9,000, you want to write something like this here. 83 over 100, if you want to change it into a fraction, that's 83%. Times 9,000 over 1. Now you could do it this way, but if you're very good with your decimal conversion, you can then change your 83% to be 0.83. So you could do this by multiplying the top and multiplying the denominator. So if I quickly use my calculator to multiply that, because this will be in a calculator paper, 83 times 9, I mean, of course it's 9,000, but just to make it fast. So we're gonna have on here 747,000. Now, you can knock off these two zeros, which means you're dividing both the numerator and denominator by 100. So your answer will be 7470 left. However, remember, if you're good with your decimals, this 83% could turn to be 0.83, and you just multiply that straight by 9,000 and you will get the same answer we got here. Okay, this one you have 3.5%, which is the same thing as 3.5 over 100 times 140 over 1. This is what this means. So you now have this. I think I can move this away. So you now have this as 100 times 1, which is 100. And of course, in a calculator paper, 3.5 times 140 or 14 and then you put 0 is 490. So if I put 490 there, okay? And then you can knock off 10, which means you're dividing both of them by 10. And now you're left with 49 over 10, which is the same thing as 4.9 grams, okay? Then this one is the same thing. You have 18.2%, which is 18.2 over 100 times your 25,000 over 1. This is all how you do that. So if we multiply 18.2 by 25, of course it's 25,000, you're gonna get, let's write it here, 455,000 over 100. Now divide the numerator and denominator by 100, and this would knock off these two zeros, and you'll be left with 4550 pounds. Okay, so that's how to find percentage. But today's lesson is actually about reverse percentages, but we need to really do this to be able to move on. So now let's talk about percentage increase and decrease and how we can use multiplier for it, and then I'll explain more on what multipliers are. So if I just discard that for us. So I'm going to go to the next bit here. I hope that one has helped you to remember how to find percentage. So here, this is what the lesson is really about. Let's do this for now. Ottawa is the capital city of Canada. The population of Ottawa is 890,000. This population is 2.5% of the total population of Canada. So in essence, they're saying 2.5%, yeah, of, which is your times, of the population, we don't know what the population is 890,000, okay? Now, we don't know what the population is. Now, you realize that this, if you change it into a decimal, we can, if we move it to places 1, 2, and you know why we're moving it to places, because we're dividing by 100. So you remember to change this into a full decimal, you're gonna have it as 0.5 025. So times a certain number will give you 890,000. So you now need to divide to be able to get that. It's like saying something like, if I give you an example, anyway, let's just carry on, not to waste time. So we're going to have, to get that, you're going to get 890,000 divided by 0.025. Why are you dividing? Yeah, I still have to use that example. So if I say 2 times a certain number will give me 6, how do I know this is 3? I'm going to say 6 divided by 2, won't I? Because I do the inverse. Yeah, 6 divided by 2. Same thing here. You do that divided by that to get this bit here. So if I use my calculator to do 89000, 123 divided by 0.025. Let's do that again. 89123 divided by 0.025. Okay, so the population will be 356 and 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. Guys, I really want you to pardon me for what has happened, that I was talking and it was not publicly shared. So that will be the population. Why is that the population? Because you have to understand that they said 2.5% of the total population, 2.5% of is your times here of the total population. We don't know what the population is, so that's why we had to put that box there. Okay, so if I go to the next bit there, this is where the lesson really starts from. The price of a TV is £260. In a sale, the price is decreased by 20%. Work out the price of the TV in the sale. Now, remember, guys, that the 100% of the price has been decreased. So 100% of the price that has been decreased, we don't know that 100%. However, we know when 20% was taken out of the 100%, leaving us with 80%, 80% is the one that costs £260. So if I write it somewhere here, so so if we have 80% of the original, of the original is giving us £360. Was it 300? This is blocking it. It's not making me see it properly. It was 260. So I'm going to go back there. £260. So 80% of whatever we have is 260. So the same way we did the Canada issue, okay? So 80%, the 100% is what we're trying to look for. But we know that the 80% is what is giving us £260. So we're just gonna quickly do something now to see how we can get that answer. Okay, so that's saying 325. So the original price was 325. However, because it was decreased by that 20%, you ended up paying £260. I'm really sorry that this lesson has come to be this. However, I'm tempted to actually carry on, if you don't mind. And I'll just finish off with just maybe 1 or 2 more questions. So let's just do the B part, which says the number, I know it's time, but I'll just carry on. The number of TVs sold increased from 70 to 98. So if you do 98, take away 70, the increase was 28, isn't it? So you're gonna write on here your 28, which was the increase, over, you always have to use the original value you got, over 70. And because they want the percentage increase, you're gonna times it by 100 over 1. Okay, guys? So this becomes 2800 or 2,800 divided by your 70, which of course, when you divide that, the zeros will knock out and that will be 40% for that increase. Okay, guys. I don't know how many people are watching me because, like I said, the text side is something I'm still trying to practice. But anyway, it is what it is. I will complete the lesson probably on my YouTube channel. I do have a lesson on reverse percentages already on my YouTube channel, and please try and go there to have some more lessons on there. I will be stopping now because I know time is precious to you. I promised 3 o'clock to 3:30, spoke for 20 minutes without being publicly shared. And of course, I am going to be rounding up and probably put up the video on my YouTube channel on Maths Teacher Bytes. Thanks for staying with me, and hopefully we'll get to see you. Go to the YouTube channel to see more of my lessons on reverse percentages. Thank you. To round up, just to be sure that we've said some bits that are very important here, I am going to go on to tell you why the multipliers is very important. So we've talked about percentage. We already did from last week. We've talked about when you have an increase. We've talked about when you have a decrease. And the multiplier itself involves in finding a number you can multiply by that represents your percentage change. So if you have a decrease of 20% from a sale, you know your multiplier there, because it's a decrease, will be 0.8. The reason being you have to reduce that 100% by 20%, which is 80%, and you get it as 0.8. And of course, that's what multiplier is there for, so that you can know what you multiply by to get your original price. So guys, we'll call it off. We'll call it a day now, and I'll see you maybe in the Maths Teacher Bytes page itself on Facebook when I do a live lesson on there. Thank you and bye-bye.